Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Satnam, everyone.
Satnam, good morning.
Happy Friday.
So today, the theme that we'd like to share with you and talk with you about is group practice and community.
So it was inspired really by a new friend that we made. She is friends with another community that has been really influential in our lives. And she called us about a week ago and just introduced herself and wanted to connect. And then she was passing by the area and reached out to see if she could spend the night. So we said, of course. And it's been really a beautiful experience to share our morning practice with her and a great reminder of just the beauty and importance of community.
Yeah, so we've been staying and living at this house that we've been house sitting. And it's a beautiful house in the woods, and we have two cats. And we've been keeping the place running like an ashram. Just because we like to wake up in the morning, do our sadhana, do our practices, and we make breakfast, and then afterwards, like maybe painting or writing or something creative, and just like the whole day like regulated with a lot of beautiful things, but at the same time we don't have an inflow or direct contact with our community, with any community.
Yeah, and her coming is like she brought that energy of that community which she was just in, which is a really strong community here. And again, just reminded us. And right now, I'm not sure exactly of the astrological positions of the different planets, but I know that it's in Aquarius right now. A lot of planets are in Aquarius, so it's Aquarius is a sign that's really big on community. I'm an Aquarius, and I have a lot of planets right now, so that component, that element for me is really strong right now of recognizing the importance of community, wanting to foster community, and wanting to share in community.
Yeah, so the energy is shifted into Aquarius, and we also realized that, okay, maybe we were doing things a little Piscean in a way that we're just to ourselves and focusing on discipline, and it doesn't foster that feeling of we're all here together, we're all working together. So, in terms of group practice, community is incredibly important in any of these traditions that you see around the world. You have Buddhism, which talks about the Sangha, which is just as important as the teacher and the teachings is the community. You have the yogic traditions.
Where they're big on ashrams and it's living in community in that same way.
And you just have all around the world like-minded individuals naturally gathering together and living with one another who live in harmonious and like ways. And it's just the way of nature. Like attracts like. And it's the way of the body, it's the way of the cells. You see groups of cells come together and they form an organ which performs a certain function. And in that way, in the same way, we can also see that it's important to connect with like-minded individuals, with individuals who are living in similar ways.
Mm-hmm. And especially practicing together, whatever that practice may look like, because you're all kind of coming together and holding a very specific and beautiful energy that's really strong and keeps each other in it. So when even one member wants to maybe not do it or gets a little lazy or whatever, the group dynamic really lifts and uplifts everybody else that's in it. And it's really powerful. It's really, really strong. And it keeps everyone focused on whatever it is, whether it's a community that's focused on God or it's a community that's focused on agriculture. Just everybody keeps each other focused on the goals and what it is that's important to them and why they're a community to begin with. And that's really powerful. That's something that when we're off on our own, we might not have that support and that encouragement and just that energy to sustain us and keep us really focused and in line with what it is that is our highest calling.
And that's like the same idea of the organ is it holds that group energy and consciousness together that performs a certain function. in the world. And it's vital, it's important that we get together. And in terms of practice, just when you're doing it with other people, like Ram Krishankar was saying, it magnifies the just the energy of what you're doing. If everyone's chanting together or everyone's doing the exact same thing, they're focusing in the exact same way, it creates a really powerful space of transformation and change.
Like imagine if you're praying by yourself. Yes, it's really powerful, but imagine if you have five people with that same prayer, that is sending that same energy up and that same intention to the world. It's that much bigger. And when you have several communities doing this in different ways, in different forms throughout the world, it's really, really powerful. And I think it's what's needed now in order to really create harmony and balance in the earth. And the human being is a communal being. We've only lost touch with that just in, I guess, modern times, but it's that isolation of the Piscean way or whatever that has created, in my opinion, a lot of imbalances. And just meditating on it this morning, it's really beautiful when we kind of deconstruct those layers and take off those layers that keep us in this like individual compartment, and we allow ourselves to be human. We allow ourselves to be open and to share, because life is just like this beautiful compilation of different experiences that we get to share with one another, and the light that we get to share with one another, and the teachings that we get to share with one another, and we go our whole life doing that.
It's true.
So it's really it's really beautiful to be able to be open enough to share with one another, and to also to be open enough to allow others to share with us, with ourselves. And God bless you, by the way.
Thank you. And you never know what type of energy someone else is going to be bringing that's going to enrich your life in a
Mm-hmm.
way that might shift your entire perspective and your whole universe.
Absolutely.
And we talked a lot about the benefit just now about communal practice and groups and getting together with like-minded individuals. Well, we were living without that contact, and just yesterday before our friend came, we were saying, "Gosh, we need to do something."
Yeah.
And the minute that she came, we just started serving. We prepared a meal for her. We made her tea. We were just like doing everything that we could with our whole being because that's what we were thirsty for. We wanted to serve. We wanted to help. We wanted to give. We wanted to share with just period. And it makes it possible.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to write an article on this, because in the middle of my meditation I had to stop and write a whole bunch of things, but that's really something that I was writing about, was this element of when we step outside of our own situation and we can be there with each other, then we're really here to serve each other. All human beings are here to serve each other, to serve the planet. And when we're not able to do that, when that isn't expressed and is not allowed to come through in any way, then it just becomes like this blocked, heavy energy. And yeah, it's been really amazing to see just the transformation in having this beautiful being that came to visit us, and to be able to just allow that flow to release again. And it's really beautiful.
So I hope that today we can inspire. If you don't have a community that you regularly are participating in activities with, maybe you find one, or if you do and you haven't seen them in a little while, connect with them, or
Mm-hmm.
just invite some people over and prepare them a nice meal. Just remember what it is that makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your soul? What is your essence? What is your passion and your purpose? And connect with others who are like-minded, because that can really help to spark, to reignite your spark or to increase whatever passion you have inside. Just remind you of who you are.
Absolutely. We've both lived with a number of communities, and it's been really strong to be in community. yes, it has its challenges, but at the same time, the amount of growth and and healing, but mostly growth that happens for an individual within a community is profound because you're just uplifted by the whole community, you're supported by the whole community, you're inspired by the whole community. So it's an invitation for you to just really break through any limits, break through any barriers, and really cultivate a lot of qualities that you might not otherwise be able to do if you're kind of in your own little space, in your own little situation.